Hello.
Ah,
There it goes.
there you go.
I think we're live already.
We're
The music's a
live.
bit slow.
Yeah,
Well, it's Wise Old Bastards here again.
we're
Did you miss
back.
us? Hope
How
so.
do you know we even went anywhere? How do you know?
Oh, actually, we just came back, actually. Literally just came back a couple days ago from Southeast Asia. Flew in through Singapore.
And
Nice.
man, are your arms tired?
And my arms are actually, yeah, my arms are busy holding this
Oh, yeah.
whiskey and stuff on the plane. I got
Hey,
to go business class. I got business
mm,
class. Now, what happened
ooh,
is we booked this really special deal, and we booked this premium economy, which is reasonable price. But for some reason, Singapore had this really nice. I shouldn't tell everybody; I probably won't be able to get it anymore. But they had a one-way premier economy, but then they offered you a business class coming back for real cheap. It's like, so normally pay 5,000-6,000 US dollars for a freaking business class return or something, maybe even more. I've seen, but this is
well,
cost
maybe
like
more.
three. So, but one way is premium economy, the back way is so there's only
And
one
I
way to
mean,
get to go business. But
and on
better than nothing.
Singapore Airlines,
Yeah,
premium economy is not bad. It's not
not
a
bad.
bad thing.
Well, not bad, not bad, not bad. So I
Who gives a
just
shit
came
about
back.
that? Who gives a shit about that? We want to know more about the robot in the airport.
The robot, we did that last time, but I left at the wrong terminal. I left in Terminal 3, and the robot's in Terminal 2, and my flight was too early in the morning to get there. So I have to do it on the way back when I go back in
Uh,
January. So
You see
I'll
how
do a
much
little
Kevin cares
robot.
for all you guys? He's
Yeah,
willing to
yeah,
fly all the way back halfway around the world
just do
just
a
to be able
robot.
to go and refilm a robot episode. Robot bartender, in case you want to know
Robot
what we're talking
bartender.
about.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can strike up a conversation.
Yeah. Just walk up to say, man, my
Yeah.
wife's been giving me a hard time. My boss has been yelling at me.
He'll be shaking up and
Just
going, here. Yeah, I don't know if they have very good listening people skills. Yeah. But actually I think it's just a couple of arms. I don't think he has ears.
no, yeah. The designers are like, no, we're not getting into
No,
that shit, man.
yeah.
No, this
They'll never
the whole
customers
thing
will
about
never
this
leave.
robot. Yeah, the whole thing is supposed to serve people faster and get them the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Take their money and
exactly.
go, not have them hanging out talking all day with them, right?
Yeah, no, I flew in here a bit early. The main thing because America's having an election just after Halloween. We just got in right at Halloween, and that was
Sorry,
quite nice.
what's that you said? America, you got a
Had
big erection?
erections.
What?
Yeah, an erection. I mean, a big erection, according to
Big
the Chinese
erection?
version.
A big purple one.
Well, better not say that much. But anyway,
I can say
it's good.
whatever I want. I'm in my bunker, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
I don't know if the world's going to end or what's happening. But actually, I went out and voted, came back to vote, try to make America, was it great and healthy again? We'll see what happens.
So what you're saying is then with that election, so this is the last Wise Old Bastards episode in the before times.
I've been to before times, before and
in the
before,
before time,
before,
before and after the election. It's
yeah. So we'll
I
give you
tell
the
you,
after election one later. See what it
whatever
is. But
whatever the
to
world
everybody,
might think. Mhm. Oh
cheers.
yeah, cheers,
Don't forget, you got
cheers.
some beers there. I got some whiskey. I kind of
Yeah,
got a cold, so we'll talk about that in a minute.
I was talking to some friends here the other day about the American election, and we thought,
Huh?
what's unfair?
Yeah.
What's really it's so unfair.
Hmm.
The American election. So you guys are the leaders of the free world, basically, right?
Supposed to be.
And
I don't know
so
about that anymore.
yeah. So what you guys decide, what you guys do, has a huge impact on everybody,
You're right.
especially us in
That's
Canada. We're
correct.
like right next door.
Yeah,
Whatever you
for
do is
sure.
directly
Right,
affects us.
right,
So
right.
how come we're not allowed to vote?
I think you are now.
Oh, okay.
Right
There
now,
you
it's
go.
like it seems like anybody can vote. I mean, there's like go down New York; they don't require any ID or anything, so you just kind of stroll apart. I want to vote. I saw on YouTube somebody said, "Yeah, thank you. I was just visiting from Holland. I even got to vote. Thank you." It's like what?
Yeah, somehow that sounds like fun, but I somehow doubt that's really going on. But anyway,
Uh,
so we'll find out in So today
Actually,
is obviously then November 5. So by
yeah.
about August 30th or something, we should know
Yeah,
what happened.
exactly. Exactly. They're talking about some will have it the exact day, and other days it might be 2 weeks or something. What kind of stupid shit is this? And
There
then,
was one
yeah,
place
yeah,
in Pennsylvania. Yeah, it was in Pennsylvania,
I don't know.
a little hamlet, so a little tiny
Okay.
town. They reported already their vote counts
Hmm.
at 15 minutes past midnight.
Oh, okay.
And the
But
results were 3 votes for Trump and 3 votes for Harris. It's that small of a place. 6 votes. And even the town with 6 people couldn't
yes.
decide, for fuck's sake. Oh
Oh
my
man,
god.
that's terrible. It's
Oh
funny.
my
It's
god.
funny.
There's only 6 of you fuckers. Why? You should have just like shot one of you guys, so at least it'd be a
They'll get
3-2
majority.
something. Oh, it's like,
Uh,
what the hell, man?
no, but actually in Pennsylvania, you got the Amish in there, and they're all voting for Trump now. It's like the whole you got these buggies going down the horse and buggies with Trump signs and flags and stuff. It's quite hilarious. I mean, I lived and grew up in southeastern Pennsylvania, and we had to get Amish, and you're driving behind one. There's a little buggy going on. These guys a little whipping the horse is trotting down the thing. But now they're having American flag signs and Trump signs on. I've never seen the Amish get political
Yeah.
before in my life. I've never even
You know
heard of it.
the other thing. So the first thing about the American election that bugs me personally is the fact I can't vote in it because it affects
Yeah.
what goes on
But it
here.
affects you guys. Yeah, that's a good point.
But it affects us. So there's that one. And well, what was the other one? I'm sure there was more, but no. The huh. Oh, I've been having too
Okay,
many
that's
beers.
it.
I forgot what to say. It's done. Yeah, it's great. It's done. It's over. Nothing else. Nothing bugs me. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
So,
just fine.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm for making America great. America first. Canada should be Canada first. China's China first. Whatever country,
Oh, right.
it's all
No,
the same.
that's what I was going to say. The
Yeah.
one the only serious thing I will say today, and
Mm.
it's I'm not being political like which party. I'm not
Mhm.
partisan that way because it's not my country. I can't vote there anyway. Obviously, I tried. They wouldn't let me.
You didn't try hard enough.
I didn't try hard enough. No, but what the so I think everyone will agree that over the last number of elections, it's becoming a little more polarized in the States.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
it's
think
terrible.
it's not like the media is telling us that everyone in the States is you're either one side or the other and spit on each other. I don't think it's like that.
No.
I mean, if you start talking politics, your temperature might rise. But if you just meet someone in a bar, have a beer, and don't talk about politics, even if you know the guys on the other team, you're not going to shoot them in the head. It's like whatever.
Yeah,
It's
of
like
course not.
it's been there forever. It's like
Mm.
but it's getting more polarized. More the temperature's
Mhm.
up.
Yeah.
Now, Canadian politics, everything in Canada follows along the States.
Oh.
Our politics now, it used to be quite nice and simple and boring, right?
Mm.
We have 3 main parties and they're all they're different, but there's like it's like one's a sweater, one's a vest. It's like they're whatever.
A sweater
It's the
vest.
same thing.
The
And then one's a
uniparty.
sweater vest. So that's the 3 of them right there. Right? So it was simple. But now we're starting to get politics is starting to get loud here too. We're getting
Yeah.
politicians like fuck this guy and calling other
Yeah.
people shit and just getting like, oh, it's like, oh man, no,
Oh man,
don't
you
do
should.
it, man.
It should be like Taiwan, where they just go up and beat on each other.
No, that's the
They just
guys
climb it.
you elect. It's not the people in the streets. They just vote. It's fine. It's the guys inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That's
Remember
what it should.
Taiwan?
There you go.
Yeah,
You wanted,
that's where the.
you wanted. Yeah,
It's like a hockey
that
match
shows the passion.
without the sticks.
Exactly. That's what. I think. Yeah, all politics. It should be hockey. We're voting for. Well, it kind of is now, though. It's like which team. Actually, politics has devolved to that now. It's like my team, and my team is based mostly on where I am, where I grew up, where I'm living. I have a team in my city or the one that's nearest. If I'm in a smaller city, my nearest big city, and you support them through thick and thin. They're winning season, losing season, whatever. You cheer for them just because.
Yeah.
And politics is now becoming that. It's no longer people so much saying, "Wait a minute, I like what you're saying about this. I don't like what you're saying about that. Can you? No, it's more like, okay,
Right.
I'm for this team, and this team doesn't. What do they say? I don't even care what they're saying. I'm for that team. It's like,
Yeah,
it should be a little
exactly.
more to it. So what ends
Correct.
up happening is the states is now controlled by what, about 18 people, the final undecideds. You got like
You
18 or
don't
20
know.
people
Yeah. Well,
in the
don't worry.
country.
They got ballot stuffing and all kinds of stuff and flipping buttons on the computers or some shit where you push one button and it comes out another one. It's like, it,
Yeah, but none of
it's
that's actually happening though.
it
It's fun
is.
to say,
No, it's true. It
uh,
is happening.
but it's
They're actually
not.
recording it. No, they have records of it. They've seen a lot of ballot boxes going. They actually blew up put them on fire in Washington, I think, and Oregon
That
State.
I can see that. I kind of
Yep.
feel like doing that myself. It's like I just want to watch TV. Fuck, it's all about the election. Somebody
Yeah.
burn the ballot boxes
Yeah.
again. Just leave it alone.
But yeah, I mean, elections should just be simple and should be, elections should have proper integrity and stuff that your vote counts. That's the main key. Whoever you vote for, it should count for that person,
I mean,
not
we've had a
subvert
couple
it.
of we've had some elections happening here, provincial elections just went through, and some of the ridings were not quite as small as that 6-person place we talked about.
Yeah.
But we have like some fairly sizable, ridings, we call them here, where you have, and it's funny, you realize how few people, so even with all the noise and drama, how few people actually vote in a number of different elections, right?
Yeah, that's a
The
good
turnout
point.
will be pretty big today in the States, but
Yeah, it's
I
going
mean,
to be
here
much bigger.
we had like bigger than normal for our provincial one because it's kind of similar to the States. We've now got two main parties here who are very different in their views, right?
Oh,
Used to be
okay.
almost the same, but very,
Yeah.
very different. So people are getting mad at each other and a whole bit. So you figure everyone's going to lie. There's
Typical.
going to be 1 million people voting. You go to places like, wow, you realize a place has got like 500,000 or 600,000 people living in it, and like 20,000 people vote. And the one side beat the other side by like 18 votes. You're like, what the fuck?
What? Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Really?
Yeah.
And then they counted and they recounted and recounted and recounted, counted again and recounted. Yeah, it's still 18. It's still 18. It's like, what the fuck? So it turns out like I've never been political my whole life. Actually, I probably shouldn't admit that. I guess it doesn't matter. The very first time I ever voted was in this last provincial election.
Oh, okay.
Very first time I actually voted. And it was I thought, well, it was one vote. What difference does it make? But I realized when some of the races are that, that's true. When the races are that close, that your vote does count. So no matter which side you're on, I think the polling in the States is probably closed by now. And by the time this is out, it'll be definitely done.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you care, you got to vote, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, it comes down to like, never mind the positions on policy and stuff, but if you think that Trump is the guy, you got to go out and vote for Trump.
Right.
If you think Trump is the Antichrist, you got to go out and vote for whoever's against Trump. You can't just sit in your house and then say, and then when it happens, you go,
Exactly. You got to make the effort. That's correct. That's correct. That is correct. Go out and vote. And you got like in California and Hawaii, you guys still have time. Alaska still has time. But other places,
if you really care, vote twice.
The
more you care.
Some people are trying that too.
The more you care, the more you vote.
Yeah.
I saw an interview today with my last political thing, because I don't only talk in politics because it really there's no winning. So someone's going to get mad, and not for no real reason.
But that's our job. Don't forget, we're supposed to make people piss off. Don't forget that.
I saw a JD Vance at a rally somewhere yesterday. And he's, I mean, you get caught up in the moment, right? When you're doing a rally, when you're doing a speech, or something. Your job is to try and convince everyone there to vote for you. So everyone exaggerates. Hyperbole happens a whole bit, but he's out there, and he's talking about immigration and how it's bad, and he doesn't think the voting is fair or something. He actually said, I've met dead people who voted. That's it.
Okay.
I don't think that's quite what you meant. I
Yeah.
think you're trying to say
Yeah.
that could
Yeah.
happen somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've met dead people
people
who
who voted.
voted. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Kamala did one of those too. She read it out. She said, I help people who hurt people. It's like, what? That's not what you're supposed to say.
I know, but I
I've been
think
a district attorney or something. I help people that hurt people. It's like, well, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, don't you mean the other way around? But I mean, that's.
I don't think, but
I mean,
came
everybody jumps on all of these things. But
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. What's his name?
it's.
Greg Gudfeld. He jumped on that. Was hilarious. He's a
But I
good,
mean,
good
I think
comedy show.
it's when you're trying to do something like big office,
Yeah,
people should be paying attention to you. But
yeah,
every single time anybody at
Yeah.
any level makes any slip up,
yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of pressure, man.
Oh,
If you're
of
talking in
course.
front of whoever, 2 people, 2,000 people, 20,000 people, people are asking
Yeah.
questions. You've been on the airplane all day. It's your
Yeah,
fifth
sure.
thing. It's like you forget you're North Carolina. You say Pennsylvania. I mean, rock and roll bands do.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing,
Yeah.
Canada? When you're in Japan, or what is it? Okay, some slip ups you have to allow. Some you have to allow. It's like it's like I don't think he really believes he met dead people voting. I don't think she really meant that she's helping people hurt people.
Yeah.
So you gotta. It's so easy to jump on that. Like they said this.
Right. Yeah. I mean, our records, records of people that were passed away were still voting. Of course, I didn't do it in purpose. Didn't do it in person, but I think it was a mail-in.
Yeah, it was a mail-in. But I mean, all of that
From the grave.
all of these, it all. But I look at it. I look at all of this. It's like all of it is both sides.
Politics.
Both sides are right. Both sides are wrong. Both sides are cheating when they can. That's part of their job.
It's politics, right? It's politics.
It's just like sports. It's sports. You think if a guy, if you're in football and the guy's running past you, you think you can trip him without getting caught? You think you're not going to trip the fucker? Or you're just going to let him go? Of course you're going to try.
Exactly.
It's like, what the
That's
fuck,
right.
man?
Exactly. You get caught, you're in trouble. You get a penalty.
But anyway, we'll know over the next days, weeks, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know who I feel sorry for in all of this? Again, like I have not been political my whole life.
Yeah.
I've been watching the election in the States, and I don't mean to piss anybody off by saying this, but it's been more for entertainment because both sides are so hyped up about each other that it's fun to watch what both sides are saying.
Yeah.
So I've been watching a lot of different like YouTube channels and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And when I watch that, I see some of these guys. They've got like the number of subscribers and people watching is huge and massive and growing so fast. And you see them getting a little smug, right?
Yeah.
It's like 6 months ago, I had 12,000 people, then 20. Now I got 1.9 million. Let's hit subscribe. Let's get to 2 million. Let's get to 5 million. I'm thinking, buddy, the election's on like Tuesday.
Yeah.
Who's going to watch your fucking channel
after that?
This? When all you're talking about, you're talking on the right side, you're talking on the left side. That's all you're talking about. You got nothing else to talk about.
That's right.
At least we shit on everybody, so we can keep going forever. But
we're running right at what? I think we had 3,600. That's all we are. We're not in the 36s or something. But yeah, all our posts on X, what we're doing, all of them on X are just our podcasts and beer hunters and shit, right? And that's what we're doing in YouTube. And I reply. Some of the stuff is political and stuff, but try to joke around and keep it lively as well. But anyway, politics are politics. What the hell? So,
politics is about the health of the nation.
It does. Actually, it does affect that because
isn't it?
Health
I'm trying to give you a segue. We're going to talk about health next.
We're going to be talking
giving you a
health.
runway.
I know. I traveling back, from Southeast Asia where it's nice and hot, and I was swimming a few days ago in the pool and stuff. It was beautiful down there, and that's and I come back here and I'm freezing my ass off, northern Arizona. So that's why I'm having a bit of medicine. It's called brandy. And you're having a beer. What? And who's not sponsoring us today? Forgot about that.
Dab. Dortmunder Export. Nice German beer.
German beer named Dab.
I like them.
That's a
It's
strange name.
Dortmunder Aktien Brauerei.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
It's I like German beers. Most of them are
Yeah.
not super hoppy.
No,
I've
they're
been
usually
talking
quite
about this
good.
before. I'm not a
Yeah.
I'm a bitter old man already. I don't need bitter in my beer, man.
Like English, you racist. You don't like English beer? The bitters.
No, I don't.
For
Actually,
shit.
but the weird thing is the bitters are not really bitter. I don't know what they
I
call
know.
bitters. I don't get it.
I
I
don't
don't
know that
understand
either.
shit.
They're really good. That's really funky.
Yeah.
But another thing about health, beer is good for you. Don't forget that beer is good for you. They even made a song about it. What was his name that wrote that song? It'll come to me later. But one of the famous Texas singers wrote this nice song. Beer is good for you.
Dortmund?
No,
Bert
not.
Dortmunder wrote, beer is good for you. It's like, okay.
It is. It is good for you. And so is a bit of brandy. So is a bit of wine. Enjoy health. A healthy drink is good. If you get plastered, that's
Hey,
not
you know
very
what
good,
else?
but yes,
It's not?
not too often.
Well, shit.
Once in a while is okay. They said you're supposed to get drunk once in a while, but I don't know who said that. But
I told you
the
when we
idea.
talked the other day that I live in British Columbia, and we do the time change every year from daylight savings to standard back to daylight or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, as a YouTuber, I obviously get all of my information from the internet. Yeah. Okay. And so I read somewhere on the internet that when they're doing the 1 hour change, the time change, because it's kind of like linked with, I don't know, the time continuum or with gravity, or there's something about it. They say
I don't think it's about
there's
that,
something about it where they say that if you can, the night before the time changes, you can drink as much as you want and you will not have a hangover the next day.
Oh, okay.
But gotta understand, although I get my information from the internet, I'm not stupid, right? So I want to test. I want to do science. So I did an experiment.
Okay.
So the night before the change, I drank way too much. And I can actually, hand on heart, I can actually report that that's bullshit. You still get a hangover next day. There's, I don't know, man, gravity, waves, whatever.
I don't think the time changes there. But talking about time change, I did time travel.
Ooh,
yeah. Thanks to Singapore Airlines, I left Singapore about an hour before I landed in San Francisco. I arrived about an hour earlier than I left. By the time I got it,
you got there before you left. That's pretty slick.
I arrived, about an hour. Thanks to Singapore Airlines, I lived for an extra half an hour. That was pretty cool.
Shout out to Singapore Airlines.
But when I go back, I'm going to lose a day. So I'll get a day older. It's like,
well, what if you go around the world the other direction? Just keep going.
I don't know. What if you just keep going? Huh? So I don't think it'll work. It's not like we traveled faster than the speed of light.
You don't know.
Yeah, it's an experiment.
You don't know till you do.
Yeah, but it was fun.
I did some more science. I did. I tell you, you're talking about health, right? So
we won't get into health.
Because I have. So I went, and it's that time of year, flu season coming up, and whatever it is there. So I went and I got my double jab. You can get the flu jab and the COVID jab at the same time, one in each different. I don't know, it can't be the same arm or the same needle, but they say, hey man, you can't put it together because it'll explode and your head will fall off.
Yeah, probably
so
will.
One in this arm, one in that arm. But it's okay.
Still may.
But, I mean, I had no ill effects from it. But you know what the benefit was?
What?
You know what the benefit was, man? My cell phone reception was fantastic.
Oh, okay. How's this affect your cell phone? Is this drugs affecting your phone?
The chips.
Oh, the chips. You got chips. You got chipped.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's okay. No. I put a pickle juice patch over it, and it shorted out the circuits. So it's fine.
That's terrible. No, I don't trust that shit. I won't take.
Now my cell phone reception is no fucking good anymore.
No, I didn't ever get that stuff, and I did get kind of the flu, so it was fun. Bit of jet lag and a bit of a flu. Yeah, it's a couple days, no big deal. But so we took some internal medicine, some brandy, some
Yeah.
A lot of lemon and hot water, brandy and
And
honey.
stay hydrated. Stay
Yeah,
hydrated, they
beer
say.
I'd stay away from until tomorrow. I think I'll do a beer tomorrow. So that's. I mean, we have to take care of ourselves, and I mean, I'm sorry, I don't trust too much medicine anymore. But health is critical, so I think for me, I'm looking at more instead of going to the doctor so much, trying to look at more holistic ways. You know, like the old Chinese systems where you have all the medications for kind of good health, the herbal soups, all that kind of stuff. Trying to be more in the natural systems over just simple medication that you're taking. I don't trust it so much. I mean, you're on medication. Like when you get older, that's the shit you get, right? I've been on some of this high blood pressure stuff. What do you call it? Hypertension stuff for 30 years, 20 years, you know? So, but trying to scale down as much as possible, minimize that. But, you know.
Well, for me, I look at it a little bit differently. I'm just trying to cheat. So I don't want to have to stop eating what I want and
Oh,
be
yeah, sure.
careful and drink less. So it's like, fuck it, bring on the science, jab me full of whatever the fuck it is, man. Let's go until it all explodes and it ends. Just keep me going until it stops. That's all. I got no problem in any of that crap.
Yeah.
But to each his
Yeah.
own. My wife,
Yeah.
Chinese, she's
Yeah.
very much into the holistic and the preventative medicine
Sure.
and the all of the
Yeah.
you know, the yin and yang, the chi, all that stuff. So to each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own.
True. But alcohol is it has an what do you call it? It's a sanitizer. It actually kills germs and kills things. You know, it's like, so get rid of the bad germs. Have a little alcohol. It's good for your throat. Yeah, it makes you sleep better. Yeah, it's good. I mean, if you drink the whole bottle, you maybe sleep too good. Wake up like you did.
I look at alcohol the same as food, right? So over the years, how many times have eggs, for example, been vilified?
Yeah.
Become the star.
Yeah.
Been vilified, become the star. You must eat, you cannot eat. They'll save you, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And alcohol is kind of the same. It's like now there's I don't know if it's gaining any traction in the States, but it must be, because we get a lot of the reports coming up from the States that they're showing a lot of reports, like studies. And I haven't read the studies, so I don't know how well done they were designed. But they used to say, oh, drinking in moderation is good for you, good for your heart, good for blah, 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 blah. And recently, more studies coming out that, oh, no, it's actually not. There's like no level of alcohol that's good for you. Opening, if your neighbor opens a beer, it's fucking you up.
Oh, God.
Right? And it's like, you know what?
Nah.
I just kind of go with my body is more or less telling me what it wants to do.
Yep.
And sometimes it's a little naughty when it wants to do a little too much of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it reminds you the next day.
Sometimes my brain and my body sometimes have a discussion, but I don't waste a lot of brain power on it. I let the body do what it's going to do. And it's like, what the fuck is that?
But your body also will tell you the next day if you did something wrong. This is very true.
And also, I mean, a lot of people tell me I'm getting older now, right? Everybody's getting older. If you're either dead or you're getting older, that's the two things, the two options, right? And it's as you get older, you fall ill a little more easily, and it takes a little longer to recover. So you should be more careful about everything. Walk more carefully so you don't fall down or break something. Eat more carefully. Blah 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 blah. I look at it slightly differently. It's like, I made it this many years, so whatever I was doing, I've known how to walk for as many years as I've been around.
Yeah.
I've been doing a pretty good job at it so far.
Yeah.
Yes, one day it's not going to work out so well, but you know what? I don't know how to say it. It's going to sound morbid, but I would rather eat, drink, laugh my ass off, and then just pop off one day when I'm 72 without even noticing, rather than like, I'm going to never drink again. I'm going to only drink water. There's going to be no salt. There's going to be no flavor in my food. I'm only eating triple refined egg whites, and I live to 115 and be a miserable old fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like,
that's true.
I don't want to be like so self-indulgent
Yeah.
that I suffer for years because I overindulged and I'm making my
Yeah.
own problems. So there's
Sure.
a fine. Everyone's got their own balance, right?
That's
We said
that
to each
yin
their
and
own.
yang
Right?
balance, right?
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, that's true. The whole issue is the balance in life. If you're going to go nuts and only eat your egg whites and be so restrictive on your diet, you're not going to live life. I mean, that's boring as hell. You're living in your own prison. You make your own prison, your own jail cells, your own chains. No, but at the same time, if you overindulge on everything, yeah, you probably will wear out your own body. I mean, my father, again, smoked, drank a lot. Okay. But maybe a little bit excessive. And yeah, ended his life a bit earlier with lung cancer. But then I had an auntie when I was really young, I remember, and she never smoked a day in her life and also died of lung cancer. So statistically, it's not probable that happens, but at the same time, it can.
It can.
So
yeah. I mean,
get run
it's
over by a bus.
everyone. Yeah, I was going to say, everybody's heard this your whole life. People telling you, live for the day, live as if it's your last day, and it's so fucking cheesy. It falls into the background. You don't even. But it is so true.
Yeah,
it really is so true. Because I mean, an earthquake can happen, floods can happen, hurricane can happen. Nothing to do with you. You didn't create the fucking hurricane. You just happened to be where it came, and boom, you get whacked. So yes, you should try to. If you don't have money and opportunity, maybe you can't drive the fancy car that you want. Maybe you can't have your 97-inch TV to watch football, but you can probably squeeze out a 37-inch used piece of shit TV and steal your neighbor's signal and watch football and drink cheaper beer and still have a pretty good time.
Yeah, true. You definitely enjoy life. If you're not enjoying life, you're screwed up. That's for sure. And that's one of our mottos. It's one of our goals in Beer Hunters International. Wise old bastards, we discuss this shit, but Beer Hunters International is supposed to live it, right? We're supposed to enjoy the life. We just go out and find cool places to drink a beer and bring out the stories of what the hell the expedition that we go on and the places and the people. And sometimes the beer is excellent. Sometimes the beer may not be so good. We don't know.
Not quite as much, but it's still
but I mean, it's a journey as well. And keep watching here and keep looking at Beer Hunters International. We've done some already, and we're going to be putting more up because beer is healthy. Beer is good for you.
We're going to prove it by living until we're at least 50.
But we already passed that. See, we already proved it.
Proof.
But remember, Germany. We're going to Germany. We're going to go see an abbey there, where they invented the damn beer. Okay, we're going to go there pretty soon. I don't know exactly. Probably, maybe next year we can do that. And what was I going to say? Oh, in Germany, beer is food. Beer is legally food. They tax it as food. They consider it food. Smart country. In that respect, anyway.
Excuse me,
maybe some Mauritius not so smart.
I'm going to have a little snack here.
And you got German beer. See, to prove that. So you can actually put it on your cornflakes in the morning and nobody will look. Actually, I think the French do that with wine, right? Snap, crackle, and bloop.
Snap, crackle, and bluck.
The French are a bit of crazy ones too. But yeah, I mean, Germany, officially, beer is food. Not the rest of it, it's just beer. They invented it. They classify as food. Love that. And more countries should think about that.
Talking about beer, not about beer being food, going to segue back into politics for a brief moment. Very brief moment, because you mentioned Germany. It reminds me. I read 2 or 3 days ago, talking about the American economy, right?
Yeah.
And there's, the economy the economy is personal. On the headline, the top, whether the stock market, the unemployment rates, all those things can be fantastic. But if you're having a hard time,
Yeah.
you don't see the economy as being a wonderful thing, right?
Correct.
So obviously, it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
But I was reading something about how this is like Canadians, we saw this and went, oh, fuck me. So if I ask you, what do you think is like, name a couple of the poorest states in the United States?
Mm-hmm.
This is not to
What are
insult them.
those?
This is going to turn out to be a
No.
good story for you guys.
Actually, I can't think if it's kind of the West Virginias or the Kentuckys, or it's hard to say.
Or
Right,
like Louisiana.
Louisiana's not that. No, it's not that bad. I mean, you got New Orleans down there. It's hard to tell anymore. You know, you got the Midwest, which is traditionally a bit, but it's all farming.
Yeah, but
Missouri,
it's actually
maybe.
On a per capita basis, Louisiana has the lowest per capita income in the United States.
Oh, it does.
Okay, yeah,
Really?
it does, right?
Mm.
So now put that in your mind. You thought it was higher, so it's lower than the places you thought were struggling. So it's even lower than that. All right. Now, everyone is saying, "Oh, the economy is so terrible in the States." Blah 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 blah. You realize that in Louisiana, the per capita GDP and the wage levels in Louisiana are higher than in Canada and higher than in Germany.
What?
So your poorest state is doing better than our fucking country or than Germany. It's like, fuck you guys, man.
Something's wrong.
Share with Sugar Bear. Share with Sugar Bear. Come on.
That doesn't
Share
sound
with
right.
Sugar Bear,
That doesn't
man. We
sound
want
right.
some.
Germany seems to be doing good. Canada has your own income. I mean, you got a big rural area as well. Germany, I don't know what the hell's going on over there. But normally they're fairly quite
headline,
industrial.
right? So it's
is it really true?
It's the headline thing, right?
Is that from US?
It's true, but but it's true, but it's also you have to dig into anything, right?
Yeah, I don't always trust it.
Because the difference is, so in Canada we have lower incomes because we have higher taxes, but we have our taxes go to the universal health care and that kind of stuff. So
is that
if you're in Louisiana and you get sick, you're kind of fucked. But if you don't get sick, you're doing well. So it's like that's why when you see any information anywhere, it may not be, and often is not, a lie. It's just you have to take it in context, because we can say anything. It's like, did you know? Did you know? Hey, did you know that fully half of all the wise old bastards on YouTube are bald?
Yeah, that's true.
So if you do a wise old bastard podcast, there's a 50-50 chance you're going to go bald. So, I mean, I can say that, but when you hear that, it's like, oh shit, but you got to look into it, like, what does that mean?
Well, I can shave my head next week and I'll come out and bald. It'd be wrong.
100%. Oh shit, man!
Until my hair grows back.
So everything is like.
No, it's
been a long time since people actually thought past the sound bites.
Yeah,
it'll be fun if we ever get back to that. No, it won't. It'll be boring if we ever get back to people thinking beyond the sound bites. But there we go.
We have to enjoy.
But just because we were talking about beer, and someone made the comment, it was like, Louisiana is doing better than the Axis of beer. That's what they called Canada and Germany, the Axis of beer.
Axis of beer?
Yeah.
That's an unusual name.
Beer consumpsion is pretty high in Canada and in Germany per capita.
Yeah, Germany expects so. I didn't know about Canada. Canada, because it's cold up there, you'd think whiskey would be higher. Canadian whiskey, Hey, you guys are pretty famous for your Canadian
rates on our booze. Oh,
yeah, it's terrible when we're paying cheaper for your booze than you are. That's the thing. I was like, that's really bad. I buy your whiskey cheaper over here. Something's wrong. That's bad economy.
Everything is wrong.
It's wrong. But in terms of health, what are we going to? I mean, okay, health systems, right? America's system, I think, has really gone downhill terribly. Okay, quality of pay, potentially healthcare is okay, but how long it takes to see a doctor, the cost of healthcare here is astronomical. What about Canada? How about you guys?
Well, it's very interesting. Again, everything is personal. It's like the economy. We just talked about the economy in the States is doing well, but a lot of people feel it personally. It sucks. Here it's kind of the opposite story. Everyone here believes that or not opposite, it's different. So everyone talks about like the healthcare system here is horrible. It's broken. It's terrible. You got to wait 19 years to give birth. It's like everything they
He's
say about
19
it.
years old before he comes out.
Yeah, it's just
like
they
this
make
kid
it
doesn't have
sound-
hair. He's coming out with a college degree.
Yeah, it sounds horrible, and I'm sure for a lot of people it is. If you go to the emergency room and you got to wait 4 days, for you it sucks, right?
Yeah, crazy.
Now, does it ever? I don't know how long it actually is.
No, it is terrible.
I've had the experience. Everyone that I know, everyone that I talk to, we all have the same knee-jerk thing. We say, "Oh yeah, the system here is broken." But my personal experience with it has been amazing. And when I ask people who, it sucks. Well, have you ever had? Oh, I had to do this, that. How was that for you? Oh, well, it was fucking great. Was it? So yes, you see on the news, you see pictures of big city emergency rooms where people are laying on the cots in the hallways, right? You see the news reports about how in small rural areas, they don't have like the emergency room. Either they don't have one, or it closes at 6 o'clock because there's only one emergency room doctor. That sounds horrible, but dude, there's like 27 fucking people living in that town. What are you going to do? You're going to have like 20 of them working in the hospital? I mean, come on. It's, okay. But I mean, I've had some things, and it's been really good. So they say like, oh, in Canada, it's we have something like 3 or 4 million people in Canada who do not have access to a primary care doctor. So the way it works here is you have your doctor, right?
Yeah.
So you find a clinic somewhere near you, and they have however many patients they can handle.
Yeah.
And you sort of, applies the wrong word, but you go do the paperwork, and which doctor is like, okay, oh, you're okay. You got some space. Okay, you're my doctor now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you have your primary care physician. That's your doctor. That person knows your records. All of our systems are digitized, so anybody can take care of you. But it's you're supposed to build your relationship with that doctor. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it's like they say 3 or 4 million can't. But out of we have nearly 40 million people here now. So it's actually not a horrible number. And when you think with other problems we've got across the country, there must be, I don't know, is there a million homeless people? I don't know how many we have, but okay, there's a whole bunch don't have the primary care doctor. You don't have an address. So you don't have a doctor. So, and it's like, and again, knock on wood, maybe I've just been incredibly lucky, but if I want, they say, oh, you can't get an appointment with your doctor, it takes forever. Then if I need an appointment, I call the office, and it's usually within a couple of days so I can get in. It's not like the same day.
That's not too bad.
Same day we have walk-in clinics, but And then the biggest thing is in Canada, I'm sure it's the same in the States, but in Asia it's a little different. In Asia, you can go to a specialist almost directly. It's like, hey, I think my heart's fallen out. I can go talk to a heart doctor directly, right? I don't have to go through a primary doctor. I can go directly.
No, you don't have
Here,
to.
your primary physician actually recommends you into the system, right?
They won't look at you without it. Yeah. Same here.
And that can take some time, right? Yeah. So that thing there, like if you need like the one big area we have, if you need like an MRI or something like that, again, because it's no additional cost. We pay taxes, but it's called free healthcare, but through taxes. So it can take sometimes months to get into the system. But once you're in the system, I've found that the level of they say, oh, everyone's burnt out in the system, it's all horrible. I found the level of care to be incredible. The service is great. The people are caring. It's been fantastic. And some things, like, unfortunately, we know somebody fairly close to us who's just got a pretty bad cancer thing going down. And they actually got into the system very quickly. Once the primary doctor said, like, what's going on? You do something, this, that. They did a couple of tests. And once the test came back positive, boom, they were in the system. And like, that was like super fast. Now, what the outcome will be, who knows? It was only found fairly late, but that's because, I mean, the doctor The doctors don't call you up and say, hey, Kevin, how you feeling this week, man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have to put
Yeah.
yourself into the system, right? So again, it's like, yeah, it's not ideal, but myself and everybody I've actually talked to who's experienced the system and talks about it, they will all first say, "Oh, system's broken." I say, "Okay, well, Johnny, remember last year when this happened to you? What happened?" "Oh yeah, I went in and blah 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 blah. I had to wait 3 hours in emergency." Okay, that sucks when you're hurting when there's a problem. But after that, what happened? Then you talk it through. And you realize, yeah, it's fine. It's working pretty fucking good.
Well, that's not too bad. No, because yeah, like you said, you hear a lot of horror stories of England and Canada and the socialized medicines and stuff. I mean, the actual treatment's probably okay, but usually it's the biggest problem is wait time and the ability to see a doctor and stuff. I mean, like same here. It really doesn't change. I don't think you don't have that much. You often have
Well,
quite a long wait times here.
I think the downside of it here is something like elective surgeries. Like I don't. They call it like a hip replacement, right? They call it elective. I don't know. Is that really elective? If you need a hip replacement, can you
want to walk
deal without having it?
I elect to walk.
Yeah, so I mean stuff like that. Stuff like that. Yeah, apparently that's a thing. It can be low.
Yeah.
If you don't need it to keep you alive,
yeah,
it can
much.
take a very long time.
Yeah.
But if you need it to keep alive, they'll keep you alive. Because remember, at the end of the day, if you're not alive, you're not paying taxes.
Yeah, that's right. And you're not
so
paying
the government
bills.
wants to keep you alive.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest issues. I mean, for example, we both live in Malaysia. And I mean, to walk into a doctor, you just go to your clinic that you go to all the time. You wait there 15 minutes and eventually you get in, talk to the doctor, get checked up, whatever you need to do, get your medicine right there, and you're out the door. So it's so convenient. You don't have to worry about that. And if you do need to go to the hospital, again, normally you pop through your local physician or clinic, and then they'll recommend a hospital too. But you can go directly as well, I think. But it's just more convenient. It works better there. It's just simpler and it works better. It's like probably medicine was in USA 40 years ago. You know, we can check the doctor and pretty much he'll come with a bag to your house. House calls and stuff. They don't do that anymore. They got to wait 3 weeks to check about your flu, which was over 4 days ago. Within 4 days.
I was thinking about that the other day too, because I think a lot about Southeast Asia because I miss being there so bad. I'm going. My family's not coming with me, but I'm going back. But I think about that and like the healthcare and all of that, and it's like one caveat I have to put in there is that it is fantastic. Responsive. The quality of care can be very good, and very inexpensive. But that was coming from my perspective.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of employees, and for my employees who were making local money, that would be quite a lot of money to do what for me was like, oh, I go to the clinic, go here, I go to the hospital, I get this done. It's like, oh, this is fantastic, man. It cost me a couple $1,000. It could have been $30,000 back home. This is great.
Yeah.
But if you're making like $1,000 a month or $500 a month, that's just like in the States if you're making 60 or 70 grand and you got all these medical bills, like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's true.
So with that caveat, so for me, I think I can go anywhere out back there. I mean, some of those hospitals were you almost wanted to go back, man. They're like 5-star hotel lobbies, and it's just like hey, I'm feeling pretty good today, but maybe
check.
Can I check in for a day?
It wasn't that good, man. But anyway, I never wanted to check in hospitals. No,
that's true.
But I mean, the hotels. You did the hotels. The hotels are good. The hospitals, no. I'd rather much be in a hotel. I want to go swimming in the pools and stuff. But no, I mean, the other thing is classic thing is medicine, right? You want medicine, and if I want medicine, I'm on some subscriptions for hyper blood pressure stuff, right? Typical. So classic stuff. I've been on it for 20 years and stuff. But some of the medicines I get over there are excellent medicines. They get the same medicines you get here, but the price there I pay for like $15. The same exact same medicine here is like $80, $85, $90. The exact same stuff. And if it good, I think they have this thing called Good RX or something, and it drops to 40 something, but they're still paying $14, and that's a normal price. Holy shit! What kind of stupid stuff is that? I mean, the price differentiation.
Well, again,
and it's not
if you look at
subsidized.
So partly is, let's say that in Malaysia, let's say they're making, just simple math, they're making $1,000 a month, and in the States you're making $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
So if it costs like 5 times as much, it's about the same. But if it costs like 6, 7, 8, 10 times more, then it's not. Then it's like, whoa, something has gone out of whack.
Yeah. But actually, the cost to manufacture, the goods, the drugs, and to sell them, I understand you can sell it a bit more, but not like 10 times more. I mean, it's just ridiculous, and that's the problem with the pharmaceutical industries. And they catch you on insulin and stuff. I mean, what was it? I don't know too much about it, but I understand insulin prices are like $15 something for whatever, $15 to $20 or something. And in USA, it used to be $90, but then the government brought it down and restricted something on medicine. Now it's like about $30, and that was done under Trump. It went off and then went back, and then Biden redid it. So it was like, it was a big political battle there too. So, but what we're saying is, the pharmaceutical industry will charge the $90 for a bottle, versus what should be actually $20 to $30 per bottle, and they're still making money. It's still not. But that's where they talk about price gouging, and normally I don't believe about price gouging very much, but in medicines, I think there is. I think medicines is a big area where you do have price gouging. Other things I don't see it, but when it comes to going to the hospital, you buy that, get some aspirin. That pill of aspirin's $10 for one pill, or I can buy a bottle of this stuff for like 300 tablets for $12. Come on now, be real. So that's price gouging. That is definitely price gouging.
But here, while we're talking about medicines and things, I realize. Remember, I said earlier that give me whatever it is. I'll take all of it because it's like it helps. I believe it'll help me do what I want to do. Blah blah blah. But I just realized there is one thing where I am self-medicating or stopping medication from my own, I didn't go to medical school, so I'm making a decision based on not having gone to medical school. And you were talking about the hypertension drugs, right?
Yeah. So hypertension. Sorry,
I went to talk to my doctor and did all the tests on it, blah blah blah. And he said to me that, okay, here you can go on this the blood pressure, cholesterol lower, statins.
Yeah, statins. Right?
Yeah. And he said, right now. I said, do I need it? And he said, well, no. Right now, statistically, we punch in all this information about you and your facts and figures, your age, your size, your readings, blah blah blah. You have a 14% chance of having a cardiac event over the next 10 years, just statistically speaking, right?
Okay.
I said, okay, that's not horrible, right? And he said, if you take these statins, it drops to 10%. And I said, oh, so it's like a 40% drop. And he said, oh, you're the first guy who got the math right. Everybody else thinks it's like a 4% drop. It went from 14 to 10, but it's like it dropped like fucking near 40%. It's like a huge thing, right? And he said, but you don't need to take it, but that's what. I said, oh, okay. So I got the prescription. That's not expensive. It's a generic thing. Generic, not big money, blah, blah, blah. I took him home, and I made the huge mistake of trying to research it on the internet.
Yeah.
And that's where everybody researching it. Oh, this is fuck me sideways. So I'm reading all this, and I went through 500 websites, the Mayo Clinic and all everything. They all say that, okay, where most drugs are metabolized in your liver. That's just where they all seem to go.
Yeah.
And then I read something about, well, these statins are, if you drink, you should be careful taking statins. And
Okay.
there's no facts or figures or charts to say if you drink however many micrograms of alcohol versus this. It's
Yeah.
not that. It's just saying it's metabolized there. It could be a thing. So I'm looking at it like, okay, so you're telling me 40% drop in chance of having a heart attack versus not drinking anymore because she can't drink with a statin. So you know where that jar of pills is?
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't
Yeah.
started it. It's like,
Well,
yeah, give me
cheers,
So
right? No,
here I am.
I'm.
Instead of my 14 years medical school, it's like I got like 2 hours on the internet, and like that's what I've decided now. It's like
Oh, it's
shit.
true. I mean, actually, it's one of the things I want to chat about too. I mean, I'm on this hypertension stuff, and I've on these what they call beta blockers, and that's okay, no problem. But also, you're on a statin. They always throw a statin in it. Okay, I'm on this one that's supposed to be one of the better ones. The trade name is Crestor. I forget the scientific name again. I remember it later, but anyway, I've been taking those. I'm the very lowest level they have, or I was one of the lowest levels, and I've been taking every day for shit how many years, and then I start learning more and more, and I've really talked to doctors, and doctors start saying, "Well, can I give you Alzheimer's?" Ken? It's like I read it, Ken. So doctor, can you? So okay, my doctor in Malaysia, he's like, they don't think so. But and then my wife goes to his wife's doctor. She's a what do you call it, lady doctor, not lady, the lady gynecologist. Boy, I
Yep.
can't even talk anymore. So anyway, and I asked her. So she said, "Yeah, actually, would you rather die of a heart attack or a long time and maybe have, have Alzheimer's?" It's like, neither. A simple. I
Yeah.
don't want either one.
I choose
I
C.
choose exactly. So he laughed about it. He's like, "Look," she goes, you're a scientist." I said, "I'm a scientist. I took a lot of biology and I understand medical systems and stuff, but I'm not a medical doctor, right? I'm more of a tree doctor or whatever, natural systems. But I did take a lot of biology, comparative anatomies, and all that stuff. And I'm very interested in the medical side. So I do, just like you, I do my research on it. And then the more research I do, the more confused I get when it comes to these statins, because you get the cholesterol, which is the total means absolutely nothing. According to them, the total cholesterol means absolutely nothing. Then you got the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol. They claim that, which is HDL and LDL. But then you read more of it, it's like, is the good cholesterol really better, much better than the LDL? And then they say, well, is the LDL really that bad? They have two different functions. One brings stuff, HDL brings stuff to the liver, and the LDL takes it from the liver and goes the other way. It's like, and according to the doctor, have a lot of your brain matter is also cholesterol, which is manufactured by your liver. Your liver manufactures cholesterol. It's like, okay, it's a naturally body function. Then I read more, it's like, maybe more cholesterol is better. So you get all this mixed information. Now, I'm never calling it misinformation. I'm calling it additional information because I don't think even the profession knows very well exactly how cholesterol really functions to clog your arteries, or does it, or is it something else that's doing it?
Well, I mean, I
Or,
think we can probably say that it's probably true. I don't know this, but it's probably true that yes, there's been enough history of people with heart issues that they know that this cholesterol is an issue, and this statin stuff helps that issue.
just
That
reduces it.
I'm willing to believe that's true, right? But it's also most likely true, yin and yang. It's most likely true that if you're changing some function in your body to fix this issue, it's most likely in some way affecting something else.
Could be.
Right?
Could be.
It kind of makes sense. Like if your body's doing something and you turn it off, it's like, well, okay, it was doing too much of it. It was bad. Cancer cell is bad, whatever. But you do that, and it's going to affect something else. I think something like the statins are they've been around for long enough. There's been hundreds of millions of people gone through the whole system.
Yeah.
That they have a pretty clear idea what's going on. But like I said, I made the decision that, I mean, if my doctor had told me, or if he tells me later that my numbers change and, hey, dude, the actuarial chart says you're not 14% anymore, you're 37%. Well, okay, I would go on statins and then decide, do I cut bad drinking for the statins to work and not harm me, or do I just take them both? Like I said earlier, take the statins, drink the beer till I explode. I'll make the decision then.
Well,
but right now, when it's 14%,
okay,
I'm willing to take the chance.
I've been taking statins for 20 years. I haven't stopped, but I have
But
slowed
you don't
down
drink,
a bit.
so
yeah, cheers to that.
So it may not be a
and
big
I'm still
issue
alive.
then.
And I'm still alive. Okay. And this is
How
20
do
years.
I know you're not AI? How do I know that?
Because we're going to Mexico together.
Oh, that's true.
And don't forget, in Vegas too.
That's true. Okay,
I'll bring my robot. But
it's like,
I'll be the robot Kevin. But no. And actually, my doctor never really told me that the statins have trouble with alcohol at all. So I like my doctor better.
yeah. Well, no, my doctor didn't mention it. Didn't say anything about it.
No, see?
I started looking it up, and I don't even know why.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I did it.
Yeah, so anyway, what I did is, since I'm on this thing, I'm not, instead of taking it every day now, I take it every other day. So big deal. So I'm still on it, but I'm just taking it every other day. So kind of half on, half off. Because I don't want to get Alzheimer's either. So if I can delay that by taking it, So I'm looking at heart attack versus Alzheimer's. So the heart attack, okay, I'm still taking it every other day. Alzheimer's, maybe I'll be 100 years old before I get the Alzheimer's.
I'll give you, do me a favor, make a longer speech about that, because I got to run for a piss so bad right now. You talk about statins. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
All right, statins.
Keep talking. Sorry, everybody.
All right, take a quick one. All right, everybody. So, solo statins, are they good or bad? Only your doctor knows for sure. Maybe. Ask your doctor. See what they say. Actually, that's a good thing. Always ask your doctor. Is this real? And say, I saw something on YouTube. Is that real? And how does the doctor answer that? Does he just refute it and say, it's all YouTube is just trash? Because YouTube has all the information can come from many different doctors, and certain doctors are against and certain doctors are for. So is statin going to kill you? Probably not. It depends on the individual. I had friends that take it and they felt very, very ill. I've had it, no problem. But again, the idea of having potential Alzheimer's that might be related to statins is not a good idea. So again, everybody do your own research. Very, very important. And I think that's going to be a key thing to medicine, to do your own research in terms of how you feel, because everybody wants to be healthy and try to live a good life for as long as you can. But, try to, and that means drinking, eating, exercise, the whole bit, it's balance, yin and yang. Just like the eggs. Eggs are bad for you. Oh.
They're good for you.
No, only the egg yolks are bad for you. Whites are still good. And then they go, actually, wrong. The whole egg's good again. So, and that was one of the best things. Should be eating a bunch of them.
Yeah, eat more eggs. You should have at least 3 a day. Like, what the fuck?
And that's just an egg. That's not medicine. That's an egg. It comes out of every bird's blood.
It's true.
And it takes them that long. And actually, that's another issue. How do they know exactly what effect causes what in the body all the time? It's usually related to some of the chemical makeup of whatever you're having. So they have like liver cleanser. Take some olive oil, take lemon, take this and that, cayenne pepper, whatever, drink that. No, your liver gets clean.
What?
How did they know
Say that again?
No, these are YouTube internet things. So you got these liver cleanser things. Are they correct? I mean, lemon's very, very good for you. General virgin olive oil is supposed to be also healthy. Cayenne peppers
the
are good.
polyphenols or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And so all these things are good. And some of the best things are things like ginger, garlic. What's the other one? The turmeric.
I would say to me,
thing.
instead of
There's
doing
so many
like a
good things out there.
cleanse in a
Yeah,
shot glass or
yeah,
something,
that's what I'm talking
why
about.
not just use those in your cooking? They all sound delicious. So
Yeah,
just use them.
exactly.
It's like,
You can. So you take them as a shot, or you cook with it. So Indian food, a lot of those things, ginger, turmeric, curries and stuff. It's all full of that. Chinese cooking, always ginger, garlic. Italian, always garlic, tomatoes. It's like,
I,
yeah,
I mean, you can tilt the odds in your favor a little
yeah,
bit by doing these things, but it's genetics and luck and a lot of things involved too.
yeah,
I just remember with Chinese medicine, right?
yeah,
And they got thousands of years of
yeah,
history.
yeah.
And
True.
yes, I'm sure it's just like good nutrition. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But someone was, I forget who it was. So saying like Chinese medicine has got this all figured out. And here's something before I shaved my head, when my hair started growing, people were telling me, oh, here's what you should do. A Chinese concoction that you should drink. I looked
For your
at
hair?
it. So I've been to China 1,000 fucking times.
Yeah.
There are bald fuckers all over China. This, I don't believe this one. No, this one's a hard pass.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, no. If it worked, there wouldn't be a single bald guy. Who wants to go bald originally? I mean, I happen to just rock it, so it's fine. But it would not have been my first choice when I was like 22 or something. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, it's not that there's no bald guys in China, that's for sure. But yeah. And so there are herbal things that are good for you, and holistic medicines are good. But then there are some medicines like, okay, there's another one that was a big issue, and I bring it up a lot, is coming on the internet again, and it was this generic antiparasitics, and it was called ivermectin. And it came across when it was COVID time, right? And then they were showing that several things, the ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, were actually have some positive results against COVID. But everybody called it horse paste and whatever, and it's terrible for you. And you have to have the vaccination. So then they find out the vaccination was actually not very good for you. It had a lot of adverse side effects. Didn't actually stop you from getting COVID. Maybe it helped from getting seriously ill. That could be, but it didn't stop. They lauded, here, you take it, you will not get COVID. That was bullshit. And then you will never spread it. That was bullshit too. So, but then they demonized the other one. Now, ivermectin is coming back again, not just for COVID. It's an antiparasitic, which has a number of properties. But now they're coming up and looking at some of these properties are also anti-cancer. And they're showing a number of studies, these are published studies, that has some positive effects. Now they're looking at trying to find the mechanisms. And they're doing some published papers. These are actual published scientific papers showing some of the effects of the mechanisms of how it should work. So this is something that's coming to light now. And this sounds very interesting because it's not just ivermectin. There's a number of antiparasitics that are also having these positive results against cancer. Fibrosidril, and there's several of them, and they're all antiparasitics. So they're looking at maybe there's something to cancer and antiparasitic medicines and whatever modalities or something, that there may be some relationships or correlations that these antiparasitics are effective, or at least somewhat effective, in fighting cancer.
Here's the problem with that, though, is like, the problem with that is like, so you and me and any of the 8 guys watching, right?
Yeah.
So how can we figure out more about this? So we can dive into it on the internet.
Yeah.
And you're going to get, it will kill you. It will turn you into Jesus himself. You'll get the 2 different sides of it. And there's, at this point, there's no way to know. So what'll happen with those is just like, my mother died of cancer. I've got, like I said, we have some friends who are dealing with it now. We've got a lot of very personal history of cancer over here. And so I don't belittle anyone who tries something. Right? So when the doctors say, you're going to die, see ya. And someone else says, hey, you take this horse pill, you take this cow pill, you take this eat this stone, whatever the fuck they say, and it's gonna help you. 90% of those guys are probably just charlatans trying to take your money because it's easy to get money from you in that time. But that's not to say the 10% are not real, and they're the 1% or whatever the percentage is, and you're going to try, and nobody should stop you from trying, right? So to say, oh, I saw on the internet that ivermectin is going to cure my cancer, so I am not going to follow the course that my oncologist says. That sounds to me dangerous. But if your oncologist has said, hey, dude, we've tried everything, you're fucked. Why would you not try everything? That's my take on it. It's like, of course you try everything.
Yeah, no, that's basically how some of these things happen, is that according to some of the cases they did. But the idea is that they are doing some science, but the big pharma is not going to do the science because they can't make money off of it. These kind of medicines are, like you said, and you have to understand, a lot of medicines are given to both animals and humans. They're the same medicines. It's just a horse is 5 times bigger than a person, so the dosage is much bigger. So, and I studied all this in colleges and stuff, and found out that actually the exact same medicines that are given to human cost 10 times more than the stuff that you give to the horses and the cows and the sheep and stuff. But it's the exact same medicine.
Ketamine? even party drugs are cheaper when you buy them for animals.
Yeah, well, I used to drug my cows with it in college. Actually, it was for chasing elk and tranquilizing elk. I used it, but I didn't. I didn't take it myself, of course. No, but I tested it on cows.
Is that what the college kids are calling it now? Yeah. Chasing elk. Okay,
chasing elk. But in terms of medicine, again, you got to do your own research, and then talk to the doctor about it. Say, look, I've seen this. Ask the doctor. Okay, this is what you recommend, but what about this as an additional thing or an alternative? Because like some of these things, they might be using it in combination with your current systems as well. So it never hurts to get more information.
That's what I think. That's what's missing, is like a middle ground, like an ombudsman, where that you can say, hey, this snake oil guy told me this, and my doctor told me this. Like, I want to try this with this. What's going to happen to me? If I just look it up on the internet, it means nothing. You have no idea what it means. So there should be somebody who says, okay, look, I'm a government sanctioned, licensed somebody. I've learned some shit. I'm not just making this up. I've studied some stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a very good question. I don't know. Somebody should check it out and we try and figure it out. But it's like, I don't know, but I've never heard anybody having a reaction where your head blows up when you take those two things together. Like a clearinghouse of information has been vetted. It's like, oh, no. Oh, no. This one, is this that Alan guy been telling you about this shit again? Yeah. He's just looking for money. Yeah. Just hang on. Whatever he says, you just hang on. Okay.
Yeah, that's bullshit. We're only looking for beer. Yeah. We're only working for beer, so don't worry about that. But the issue is, I mean, the issue is you have to arm yourself with the most information you can. And you're right. It should be a published thing, something that's actually physically researched, not somebody that's just talking, oh, my auntie did this and then she's cured. No. It has to be actually
and so
scientific.
Much of it is that because it's not published, because of part of it is a stigma around it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, because you fall into
look for published
when
stuff.
my mom was going through it, we did, it was DEC or DAC or something it was called. And it was basically any of our friends who knew what we were trying to do were telling us that, oh, fucking, what are you doing, man? Because we ran across with a particular cancer that my mom was dealing with at the time. There was a Canadian doctor. Now, remember, just because you're a doctor, a medical doctor, doesn't mean you're a genius. You meet people in life, you got great drivers, bad drivers, great doctors, bad doctors, right? So this one guy who happened to be a doctor, and because he was a doctor, everything he said, people on the internet gave it weight, whether he deserved it or not. So we looking around and, this stuff. So this guy said these things. And so he's saying it was not an anti-parasitic, but it was whatever it was supposed to do. And we're looking at, based on like the doctors are saying it's this thing happening, and this guy's saying this is for that thing. Huh. and they're saying there's no hope. So this guy's saying there's maybe hope. So of course you're going to try.
Yeah.
But then when you see what it was an industrial chemical used
Oh.
in swimming pool filtration systems.
That doesn't sound right.
The main chemical compound behind the thing, right?
Okay.
So not here's a scoop, one in the hot tub, and here's one for you, Mom, in your teeth. It wasn't quite like that, but it was, the chemical compound behind all. So anyone watching us is like, what the fuck kind of quack shit are you fucking dealing with? Dude, what's wrong with you guys? We're saying, well, yeah, but the doctor said there's no fucking hope. And this is not, we're not just buying scoops of shit off the Home Depot. This was like, the internet research we could do at the time. That's the best information we could find. Is like, this guy said it worked for some people. Now you can't verify that. He says, here's the studies, here's the, and they're usually tiny studies, right?
Yeah.
218 people. Like, statistically, that means nothing. But 218 people, and only 300 of them died.
Yeah,
it's worth a try.
Sounds like a Pfizer thing.
Yeah,
this is actually what Pfizer did.
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah. No, I mean, there's
so that's
a
why
lot of things.
I don't agree with most. Like even like the ivermectins and these things, I personally would be very concerned about like taking it for something that my doctor didn't believe it worked for. I still have some faith in my doctors, right? But I do not demonize people who see it differently. And because I went through it, I gave my mother fucking swimming pool filtration chemicals to try it. So, I mean, who am I to say you can't try this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's like, we know that the acetylsalic acid, the original aspirin.
Okay. Yeah.
It turns out it is kind of a bit of a wonder drug, right? It's been around for like 180 years or something, and it takes care of aches and pains. It lowers your blood pressure. It can save you from a heart attack. It's like, so these snake oil wonder drug things can exist.
And they claim if you have a heart attack or you're experiencing something, you're supposed to take aspirin, just generic aspirin, not Tylenol or these other things, just real bare aspirin, the typical aspirin. Put it on take up a couple tablets and put it on your tongue and chew it up and stuff. And it's supposed to have immediate effect because you want it in your bloodstream. And that's been published too. So, okay, there are things like aspirin is not just for headache or fever. So it's also for other things, lowering blood pressure. You get the baby aspirins or other aspirin, and also for an upcoming heart attacks or strokes or whatever. It's also supposed to be also recommended. But it took time for that to happen. And like we're saying, right now the key point is, yes, go to your doctor, ask your doctor, but don't be afraid to say, I've heard of these other alternative things, and do your research, because sometimes doctors don't do research. They're just treating things. They don't always cure things. They treat things. They usually treat symptoms. So if you find other things,
they're busy as fuck. They don't care about you as much as you care about you.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So you have to care about you.
I'm just going to interrupt a little bit here to say, because again, from my personal experiences and when you go to a doctor, I'm sure everybody at heart, at the core, is the same. You're basically shopping for and looking for good news, right?
Yeah.
So I go in, I feel like I got this thing. And because the internet, we're all now experts, but it's like, doc, I think I've got this thing, right? And the doctor says, no, you don't. You're like, oh, phew, thanks. Whew, and you're done.
Yeah.
If you have to be your own advocate, you have to be your own advocate. So
that's right.
You have to ask the question like that. Okay, you can be embarrassed. It's like, I heard that if I eat swimming pool chemicals, it's going to save me. You're embarrassed. What's more important to you? Being embarrassed, asking a question, or potentially saving your life?
Yeah, of course.
You got to make that decision, right? Which one's more important to you?
Yeah. So,
like my parents' generation, it would be not getting embarrassed. They would probably not talk about stuff, because for them, being stoic and not embarrassing themselves is probably more important than staying alive.
No, it's not. So, yeah, I mean, like we said, health, do your best job, do your own thing, but, some of the key points is, enjoy life, right? You enjoy the drink, enjoy what you eat. Don't starve yourself. But if you're obese, definitely you're going to have more trouble, right? If you're super overweight, you're going to have more trouble. So you have to keep the yin and yang going with the exercise, the usual stuff, the common sense stuff. If you don't have to go run marathons, you can't run a marathon with a beer, right? Because you'll shake it up. But I still remember during COVID times, we couldn't do anything except walk around the roads, right? It was pretty restrictive. And so we'd always be walking around, and then we carry a couple beers. So yin and yang, we had some exercise, but at the same time, we had a few beers while we're doing it. But yeah, that's life. Enjoy. But we have to make common sense decisions. So I think it's about time.
So the good news and bad news today is that the good news is we've given you some good information that might keep you alive. Bad news is it wasn't nearly as funny as it usually is, but hey, what are you going to do? Because we're just like with the government, if you die, you can't pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
So we feel the same way. We care about you. If you die, you can't watch and subscribe. So we want you to stay alive.
Yeah.
So take our advice, and we'll be funny next time.
Yeah, we'll try and lighten it up. We'll probably talk about taxes and make it really good. Tax is always fun.
Yeah, something nice and light and funny about taxes. Yeah, that's what we need.
Death and taxes.
Nice and fun.
Okay, so anyway, I hear the music, kind of, a little bit low. Ooh. Anyway,
there we go, a little bit better.
There it is. That's good.
Cheers.
So next time.
I'm very sick. I'm
happy.
Yep.
Happy election day for us until we meet again.
Happy election day.
In a couple of days or sometime next week. All right. Adios.
See you all on the other side. Ciao.